Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Now if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my top play in college hoops each day, my Bank Shop Best Bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at Pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alright, here we go. Here are the games for Tuesday in college hoops. First up, we'll start in the Big 12 as Iowa State takes on UCF. This one is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. Now, we know Iowa State is still ranked 10th in the AP polls, 18-5 overall, 8-4 in conference play. But we can agree that they haven't been their best in the last couple of weeks as they're now on a 1-3 run in their last 4 games. They were able to bounce back with a win on Saturday, a blowout win, and cover. But before that, they had lost 3 straight by double digits to Arizona, which, it's a very solid team, and it was a true road game. But then the surprising 19-point loss to Kansas State, and then the blowout loss against the Kansas Jayhawks the following game. And right now, I'm not really looking to lay points, especially this many points, with the Cyclones on the road. They've struggled in their recent true road games. UCF has a very underrated home court advantage in this conference. We've already seen it from the Golden Knights in certain games this season. You look back at the very beginning of the year, the upset win over Texas A&M. Texas A&M has been a very good road team. You could argue maybe the best road team in college basketball this year, or one of them. They've had so many big road wins in the SEC. So UCF's win at the beginning of the season looks even more impressive. And I know the Golden Knights are not in the best form right now, but this is still a team. It's a good shooting team from three-point range. That's been an issue for Iowa State at times in conference play and overall. They do give up some points from the perimeter, from three-point jumpers. So if UCF can get those threes falling early, I think their offense does enough to at least cover this number, if not win the game outright. Next up, it's DePaul and Marquette. This one is going to be 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be on Peacock. Now, the first meeting between these two was very close. It went to overtime. DePaul actually had a few chances to win that game late, but ended up losing by 2 points, 85-83. We know Marquette has struggled recently. They've lost 3 straight games, but I still view this as a get-right spot for Marquette. And while that first game was close, I still think this is a good matchup for Marquette, especially at home. And DePaul's been more competitive in conference play this year than we're used to seeing, but they're still 2-11 in conference play, so they're not having a great season in the Big East by any means, and they've struggled at times against the number, even getting a lot of points like this. I think we see a classic Marquette blowout win. I think they really benefit from the fact that DePaul really turns the ball over too much. About 19% of their possessions have ended in a turnover this year. For Marquette, they're 6th best in the country in defensive turnover percentage, 2nd best on the offensive side. They should win that turnover battle by a big margin, score a lot of fast break points. I think this is going to be a fast game, and I think Marquette scores probably close to into the 90s and wins this game and covers a number. Next up, it's Alabama and Texas. This one's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN. I'm looking at the total in this one. I think we see a track meet in this game. I think it's going to be an offensive shootout. I like the over, and Alabama's played in quite a few overs on the road in the SEC this year. The most recent game against Arkansas did go under, but still was a pretty high-scoring game, 85-81, and previously 88-84, 102-97. Some of the road game final scores for Alabama. We know the offense is elite. It's potent. It's the fastest team in college basketball. I do think that defense holds Alabama back, though, especially as we get near the conference tournament play and, their next game against Auburn into the NCAA tournament when they're playing some of these tougher teams. I worry about that Bama defense. They're ranked 347th in turnover percentage defensively, so they're not forcing turnovers. They're not the best defensive rebounding team, and shot quality-wise, also not the best compared to other SEC teams. So while Texas has struggled, recently, I think we'll see the Longhorns score plenty of points in this game. On the flip side, Texas giving up 86 points to Vanderbilt last time out. If you can give up 86 points to Vandy, Alabama could certainly score in the hundreds or at least the high 90s in this one. So this is a steep total, but I think we see a very high-scoring game, back and forth. I think Texas is going to be forced to play fast in this ball game if it wants to keep up. Give me Alabama and Texas over the total in this one. Next up, it's Colorado and Kansas. This one's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN2. Now, I think Kansas bounces back from its most recent outright loss to Kansas State, their rivals, in that one, 81-73. And while I think they bounce back with a win, I don't think they cover the spread, as this is just, too many points to be laying. I know Colorado has struggled in conference play. That's putting it lightly, 0-12 in the Big 12 this season. But I think the Buffs are coming off their best performance in conference play this year in that game against Houston. It was a double-digit loss on paper, but it was a really close game. The final score doesn't tell the full story, and Colorado was able to cover the spread easily in that one, never coming outside the number in that game. And I think they can build on a performance like that. That was, like I said, one of their best showings of the conference season. They were 39% from three-point range against a very tough Houston defense, and also holding Houston to 51% from two-point range. That's key for me. Colorado's two-point defense has been inconsistent at times. They've struggled to defend the paint, but that was one of their best showings. We also saw them have 4 blocks in that game. Kansas really relies on those two-point field goals. They score 59% of their points via two-point field goals. So I think Colorado's defense is going to be able to stand up and find a few key stops to be able to cover the number in this game. They're getting a ton of points. I don't think Colorado wins this game outright. I think it could be a little bit dicey for Kansas down the stretch, but I think the Jayhawks win. Colorado covers. And the final game we're going to talk about for the Tuesday card in college basketball, it's going to be a late game, Colorado State and Utah State. This one's 11 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Now, we took Colorado State on Saturday. We laid the points against San Diego State. That was a pretty competitive game, but Colorado State got the job done for us nonetheless. Another loss for those Aztecs I mentioned. I don't think they're going to make the tournament. They got to keep racking up losses for that to be the case. But when you look at this matchup, I don't think it's beneficial for Colorado State. When you look at Utah State, very good home team, and they had a really amazing start to the season. They were 10-0 at one point straight up, and they were 16-1, 6-0 in conference play. Since then, I would say they still have a great record, 21-3 overall, 11-2 in conference play. They haven't been as dominant, though, in recent games. We've seen some close ones. The Wyoming game, a little bit concerning. Even last game against Fresno State, winning that game by single digits. You lose the blowout to New Mexico. So we haven't seen the best of the Aggies recently, but still, I think one of the best teams in this conference. A dangerous mid-major, and I think they win this game really comfortably. They match up well. Their offense is just far too superior for Colorado State. And also, I much rather take the Rams at home. Like many other Mountain West teams, I don't really love backing Colorado State on the road. We've seen them lose some lopsided games by double digits in these true road games in the Mountain West. So give me Utah State in this one. I'm going to lay the points. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.